I don't care at this point.
Girly scented ones.
I don't care about the towers. I just want it to be so. But I mean, you know, I just want to have a connection. Claiborne, CLAI. It's I like the story. That's what I hear.
Not really, because it manages.
Good morning. We're calling this Walton County Technical Review Committee meeting to order. This is Wednesday, December 3rd. Our first item is a request to approve the 2026 TRC meeting date schedule. If I can have a motion to that effect, please.
Motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Item number 2 is a request to table. This is the USU FWB 32 Mac Bayou. This is a minor development application submitted by Clark Partington on behalf of the Muskogee Nation of Florida and requesting to replace the cell tower on 0.147 plus or minus acres. Future land use of mixed use zoning category of coastal center. I understand that the applicant is here and would like to raise some concerns about the request.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Will Dunaway. I represent the applicant in this case.
Good morning.
Thank you. We did receive the memo, I guess it was on Monday, which was the request to table this matter. My understanding is, based on the memo, that the request to table was because of a conditional use approval process, which we were told we had to submit for. We are fine with doing that, even though we do not believe that under these circumstances a conditional use is necessary. But we also were told that the Eglin had not reviewed, so there was an under Eglin review. So I'm asking to make sure that I understand what is the planning department's position with regard to this application and why it's being requested to be tabled, because we don't want to start over. If there's going to be the necessity for some type of delay, we'd ask you to put it on the next TRC. We've noticed this. The application is completed. It meets all of your requirements, and we'd like for you to make a determination.
Sure. So I will say that I think both of those other things are in play in terms of the staff considerations regarding a potential conditional use, as well as Eglin's delay in comments. I will also say that I think there are some questions internally based on if that tower should even be there in the first place and how we proceed with that idea in mind.
You're talking about the existing cell tower approved by the county
That's
that's been
correct.
operating
That
for
is-
many
yes,
years?
That's what I'm saying, yes. And I understand government action and all of that, but I want to feel more comfortable with how we move forward currently. So that will require some internal conversations and potentially conversations with you and your the property owner and applicant here as well. So I don't think that there's an opportunity within the next 2 weeks to get those meetings and discussions done. I'm happy to reconsider the table and push possibly a 30-day continuance or a 60-day. But those conversations will need to be had prior to coming back here.
Now, to be clear, Mr. Director, this project has been ongoing for over a year.
Sure.
So this project began over a year ago,
Yes.
and the county granted the temporary tower that's been operating to keep the cell service for South Walton County for Verizon operating during this time.
I understand.
Any interruption in that would cease that type of communications.
I understand.
So we are talking about a major issue and a timeline that is on critically short planning processes. So anything that we can do to speed this issue up, especially given the fact that the application for a minor development request, minor development order, has been submitted and is complete. And your code requires approval or denial within 90 days. So a 30-day, we're ready to talk. Would have loved to have had this kind of conversation before, because have had no indication that this was a concern for the county.
Sure. It is a relatively new project for me, in my understanding. And if there's other information that I'm not privy to or have not been made aware of, please share that with me for my consideration.
You mean the approval by the county
That's
for the
correct.
existing tower and the approval of the
Yes.
county for the temporary tower, all of which are
Yes.
a record?
Yes. Yes. Those are the things that I need to look at and to digest before I'm comfortable moving this forward.
Do we need to resubmit to the county planning
Has it
director?
been submitted already as part of this application?
No, you're saying you needed to review the existing approvals that the county has already made? I mean, I can forward those back to you.
What are the existing approvals? I know that it was approved initially, a decade ago or so, 2014 timeframe, the tower itself. What
Correct.
is the temporary approval that you're referring to?
That the planning director granted right before he left?
Okay.
grant
So
this process?
That's a piece of information that I do not have. So is that something in writing that, yeah. Yeah, if you can submit it as part of this, I'm happy to review it. I have not seen that.
Is the planning department of Walton County saying that that was not approved?
That's not what we're saying. No, I just have not seen it is what I'm saying. So if that hasn't been submitted as part of this application or
Does it
referenced.
exist in the planning department
I
record?
suspect it does. But if I don't know about it, then I don't know what to look for either. So if you could provide a project number or documentation to that effect, I'm happy to review it, sir. I just don't have it in front of me.
I'm just at a total loss. I mean, I don't recognize what's happening. The temporary approval process doesn't have anything to do with the minor application that's submitted and it has been already.
You brought it up. I just thought it was germane to this conversation.
No, you brought up the fact that there was concern that apparently you have
I do.
with the existing tower, and I was asking, what's prompting that? The county approved this 10 years ago, the tower that's been up there existing, and then only less than a year ago approved the process that we are moving forward in now. First, you get the temporary, then you make the submission, and we're going to do the existing tower, and that's what we move forward with. So I'm not sure what it is that I'm supposed to be submitting other than the application that is completely before the planning department and is complete.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is go ahead and continue this. I'll remove this tabling and we'll hear it again in 30 days. And hopefully we'll get to the bottom of the situation. And hopefully my concerns will be gone by that time. How does that sound? I know that you want it heard now or within 2 weeks, but that's just not gonna happen. So
Understood.
are you available in 30 days?
We'll be available whenever the
Within
planning
that time
director
frame?
asks.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you for your patience. Okay, let's go ahead and get a motion to continue this to what date are we looking at? Karen, what would that be? First meeting in January, I think. Okay, can I have a request to continue this to the January 7th TRC meeting, please?
Motion to continue.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. This item will be heard on at the first January TRC meeting. All right, we have two items, the Leisure Lane Bed and Breakfast and GNS Glass, that both have requests to continue to the December 17th TRC meeting at this location. If I could have a motion to that effect, please.
Motion to continue?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, items 3 and 4, Leisure Lane Bed and Breakfast and GNS Glass will be heard at the December 17th TRC meeting in this location. That brings us to the garages at Miramar, phases 1 and 2.
Good morning.
Morning.
This is a major development application submitted by Nautilus Civil Engineers requesting approval to develop a 49-unit vehicle, boat, and RV storage facility with associated sales center and infrastructure in 2 phases on 10.06 acres with the future land use of mixed use and a zoning of coastal center mixed use. Property is located in District 4, immediately east of the McDonald's in Miramar Beach. So Curtis resubmitted this last week. However, I don't have any comments yet. I went to review it yesterday and it was missing the landscape plan and the architectural, so I couldn't complete my review without those 2 new documents. With that, I'd like to enter the staff report into the record, please.
So entered, thank you. Is this scheduled for DRB review?
Not yet. That's why I need the updated architecturals, because they want to get to the DRB. They want to get there next month, but they need to resolve the scenic corridor comments.
Okay. So what is the zoning here? Coastal
Coastal
Center
Center
mixed use?
mixed use.
Does this have and forgive my memory here, but is this one of the zoning districts that requires a particular mixture of uses or not?
Not.
Okay.
Coastal Center Mixed Use does not have that requirement.
So this is just a single use, high-end sort of storage operation?
Correct. It's very similar to the Garage 30A that we did, except that was strictly for vehicles. This one is for vehicles, boats, and RVs. But it's the same concept. Basically, it's mini storage for vehicles.
Okay, any questions for staff? Or anything else from staff? Okay, thank you, Tim.
Morning, Curtis Smith, and Nautilus Civil Engineers.
Morning.
The only thing I really have to note is, we continued the last TRC and didn't have all comments in at the time. We waited another week or so before we went ahead and addressed all of our comments. Went to go submit the morning of the 19th. And there was our environmental comments from the very first round. So we halted our submittal to address those. So our resubmittal was made the following Monday morning, which I believe was the 24th. I understand people have probably been out for holidays and stuff, so everything has been addressed on the comments, and we had a pretty substantial stormwater analysis improvement that we went through, added quite a bit of detail and revised a little bit to make phase 1 and phase 2 stand apart. So all that's been addressed. We're just waiting on approval from everyone.
Okay,
DRB items, we actually went to the DRB for informational at the last meeting and got some feedback that they agreed on a design architect has. We're going to file as a deviation because it technically doesn't meet the code, I suppose. So we're working on a deviation pre-app request now, trying to push that through.
for the architectural components?
Architectural, yes. And Tim said he needed architectural resubmittal. I didn't know we needed that before we were scheduled for DRB, but we're going to go ahead and get that in for him.
Okay,
So,
yeah, I think he likes to get a clean project before taking it to the DRB, which
yes,
we've had conversations about our timelines and things, so.
sure. And I believe our 180 days on this is sometime in mid-March, maybe March 20th through the 25th, sometime in there. So I think the only way we stay on track is we double up a meeting somewhere, PC and DRB or PC and QJ, one or the other.
Okay, I think we could certainly accommodate that as we get to that point. There does appear to be quite a few comments, so you're saying that the most recent resubmittal on the 24th, you said, addresses?
Yeah,
or
everything's been
addresses?
addressed, correct.
Have you had a chance to review?
The engineering department we've done a preliminary review of your responses. We are still finessing our final comments.
Yeah.
But I did have one question.
Sure.
The pond in the front near 98, is that a wet pond?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute, say that again?
The pond closest to Highway 98?
Yes. Well, the one in front of the building is, yes.
I think Chapter 6 speaks to ponds along 98 being dry. The wet pond.
Does?
It does, yes.
That speaks to the 72-hour.
Yes.
Is
Within
that
72 hours.
is that not in the buffer zone? Is that what you're talking about? Because I'm just sitting here thinking about mine. We've got hundreds of
I
ponds on
know.
98 in the front right now.
Yeah, I know. And I have the language here if I need to reference it.
Sure, because this is something probably every engineer in here is probably wondering about right now. What's this new bomb we got?
So it's in Chapter 6 on page 34 of the PDF.
It does say buffer setback retention, but
Yeah, that's just in the buffer. That's in the scenic corridor, but we don't have a pond in the buffer on this project.
I didn't realize that was the heading when I spoke to you yesterday. It does say buffer setback retention, so it does appear to apply only to the scenic corridor buffer, not the whole project like we were discussing.
Okay.
Yeah, that does seem accurate.
All right. Sounds good.
So in your preliminary sort of re-review, Andrea, is there anything that you think is insurmountable at this point?
It doesn't appear so.
Okay. Have you all had a chance to look at this?
We've talked about it, and if I haven't submitted, I'll get it to you.
Okay. Yeah, I think our architect's the one that's needs your comments regarding building things, which y'all have a more thorough review later for them, but just want to make sure we're good on access around the buildings and things.
All right, any other questions for the applicant? No. I've got nothing. Tim, where'd you go? So have you had a chance to look at this at all in terms of satisfying your comments?
Yes, but I had a number of landscape comments, and Curtis said he loaded that, I guess, after we left yesterday.
Under separate cover, is that correct, Curtis?
Yeah, our landscape.
Okay.
So yes, I did some review, but without architecturals and without the landscape plan, I couldn't do a complete review. But I mean, if he's resubmitted everything, I don't have any issues with it moving forward.
Okay. Do you have a recommended motion then?
Recommend conditional approval and move it forward to the design review board.
Okay. I am not seeing anyone from the general public here. So I'm not gonna, well, I'll open it up. Scott? Yeah, would you? John, you got anything to say on this one? All right, we've got a recommendation from staff to conditionally approve pending successful address of all outstanding comments. Can I have a motion to that effect?
Motion to conditionally approve.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, this project is conditionally approved to move forward. Karen, did you get who seconded? I know that Mike was a little wonky, but, okay. Next item is True South. Yeah, True South. I know.
Morning, Mr. Chair.
Good
The
morning, Bob.
project is True South, request approved by development order. Project number MIN 25000134 is being reviewed by myself. This is a minor development order application submitted by Jenkins Engineering Incorporated on behalf of Southern Cross Plantation Incorporated, requesting to develop horse stables with 3,445 square feet of air-conditioned space, a covered pool barn area, and the relocation of the two existing structures on the front of the property on 202.91 plus or minus acres with future land use zoning category of estate residential and future land use of estate residential. The property is located in District 3 on 2909 Coy Burgess Loop and is identified by the parcel number in your staff report. Mr. Chair, there was just a few outstanding comments that the applicant has submitted Monday to address those. I think that they have addressed them all, so unless you have further questions, staff would like to recommend a conditional approval. And may I enter the staff report into the record, please?
So entered. Thank you, Bob.
Do you have any questions for me before
Any
I
questions
wobble
for
away?
staff? No? Is this a, and I'm sure the applicant can speak to this, but is this a private or a, is this gonna be open to the public?
It is private, but they will bring horses in to train there. But
Okay.
It's like a private club.
Okay.
And apparently there is no current DO.
Was that a question previously?
Well, it was a question that I had.
Yeah, there's not been a
There's-
deal on the property.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Bob.
Did you enter it in the
I
record?
did, and
Thank you.
if I didn't, so entered.
Good morning. I'm Scott Jenkins
Morning.
with Jenkins Engineering. I think Bob did a great job of introducing this. Yes, we had, I think, 3 comments that we have addressed that were regarding landscaping. I do have one question, though, that was brought up by the applicant and the adjacent neighbor. There is one property line where we have been requested to show a compatibility buffer, basically, which is if you're looking at the site plan, it is the one right on the left side where you can see the driveway and stuff coming in. There's an existing house there. That resident that lives at that house has actually requested that they not install a buffer there because there's an existing vineyard that's kind of in that corner and they like the view of the vineyard. I don't know if that's an option not to install it. If the answer is no, that's fine. I don't want to delay the process. But they did ask that we ask that question, and that did come from the adjacent neighbor that would benefit from a buffer. So
How much of shared property line is there between that?
along
and
that
this
side,
development?
I think it was about 300 feet probably along that edge. However, there's just a house and a really big yard. That's it. So most of it's yard space.
Okay.
And we don't have anything within being proposed within probably about 300 or 400 feet of that area. So
Okay.
we have a long distance away from that property line.
I'd be okay certainly with, getting something from that neighbor, speaking to that, signed, notarized. And then what I think I would like to see is maybe just a reduction in the plantings with some clustering. Maybe we can forego the shrubs if the vine,
Yep.
the vineyard is what they're ultimately aesthetically.
It is,
After.
yeah. I think that's really what they're interested in, is just being able to keep that view, basically. 'Cause
Okay.
It's pretty nice. It's beautiful up there. So,
I bet.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want to ruin anybody's view in that respect. So yeah, let's just kind of go through that process and,
Okay.
and see what we can do about kind of
Okay.
keeping that view open for them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Happy
Any
to
other
answer
questions?
yeah.
Okay. No one in the public unless John? No? All right, there we go. We have a recommended motion. What do y'all want to do?
Make a motion to approve.
Are there outstanding comments? Are we conditionally approving this, Bob?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's do that.
Okay, motion to conditionally approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. This project is conditionally approved to move forward. Thank you. And the last item we have is Wolf Creek Residential Development Phase 2.
Yes, Mr. Chair, as you said, this is Wolf Creek Residential Development Phase 2, request to approve by final order, project number MAJ 25-000052. It's being reviewed by myself. This is a major development application submitted by O'Connell and Associates Consulting Engineers Incorporated on behalf of C&R Freeport Properties LLC, requesting to create an access to Phase 2 via northeast and southeast stub-out roads from Phase 1, as well as new interest roadways along Highway 20 east to proposed single-family lots ranging from 0.13 to 0.26, access in size, while the duplex lots range from 0.09 to 0.11 acres on 602 plus or minus acres. The project site has a future land use of rural residential in the zoning category of rural village. The property is in District 1 and is approximately 6 miles north of Highway 20 in East Winstep subdivision. Is identified by the parcel number in your staff report. Mr. Chair, as you're aware, this is an ongoing PUD. There are basically outstanding comments from engineering and on traffic. It's my understanding that the applicant had a one-on-one meeting with engineering last week. They resubmitted yesterday to address these comments, and I'd like to enter the staff report into the record, please.
So entered.
Did you have any questions for me before I turn it over to the applicant?
Any questions for staff? No, Bob, thank you.
Thank you.
Morning, John Nash with O'Connell and Associates for the applicant.
Morning.
I wanted to correct one thing. We didn't have a one-on-one with the engineering staff. I spoke with Brad Bond yesterday. We hadn't received his comments yet.
about preservation or just in general comments?
Yeah, now, as he said, you know, we have the PUD that's going ahead of this.
Right.
I don't expect anything substantial from Brad. I think we're gonna get some from him today. But we've been waiting on comments. We've had engineering for quite a while, but we were waiting on, planning, environmental mostly. Yesterday, we received planning. We resubmitted everything we could yesterday. We don't have Brad yet. As soon as we have those, we'll turn something around as fast as we can.
Okay.
But, everything that we have in terms of comments, we've addressed.
And in that conversation with Brad yesterday, was there anything that came up that you guys had questions about or anything insurmountable?
No. The only thing I can think is that maybe clarifying comments about preservation potentially. I mean, there's a little bit of a complicated preservation scenario that's happening because we did phase 1 and phase 2 in the PUD that
Yeah.
you may need some explanation on, but other than that, it's all there and documented.
Okay, okay. Any questions for the applicant? No? I just have a few, and it's just mainly just for, anybody that's watching. Will this phase include the construction of that, and forgive me if it's the sheriff's sort of satellite office there abutting 20, or is that an additional firehouse? I don't recall.
Fire station.
Fire
and
station.
no, it's not included as part of this application. That property's been transferred to the sheriff's office. And
So
it's
it'll be,
it's-
okay, submitted under separate owner at this point.
Correct.
Okay, understood. But that aligns with, is it abutting 20 or is it just a little off of 20 where that firehouse will be?
Budding 20.
Okay,
It's 6 acres of the little upland area that's abutting 20,
okay.
a little east of our entrance.
I think I'm seeing where it's gonna be. Just the scale on this.
I know.
It's a
Only
big
so much
site.
I can do.
I know. I
Hard to
appreciate
show
the info,
900
though.
acres on one page.
That's really all I wanted to bring up, to make sure that was just kind of part of the conversation, because it is, so.
And if you'll remember, you know, that was part of our conversation originally, and there's director's determination. That public benefit.
That's right. Okay, I don't have anything else, unless Aaron or Karen wants to say something on the public's behalf, then I'm gonna ask Bob for a recommendation. You could do it from there, Bob, just yell. Okay.
Staff would like to make a conditional recommendation of conditional approval, pending that all comments are addressed with the resubmittal that they did the other day.
Okay. Everybody, all in favor?
Aye.
All right. This project is conditionally approved to move forward pending successful address of all outstanding comments. Thank you all. Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you.